Saraya is interested in a WWE comeback, plus a top AEW star's contract is expiring, and could a bizarre WCW Gimmick match be returning? It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling News right now. Paige here.
Very good, very good.
Could Paige be there again?
Maybe, because Saraya was recently interviewed on Booker T's Hall of Fame podcast, and she spoke about her feelings towards WWE. Obviously, she is, I believe, still under contract in AEW, but I don't think she's appeared, or she certainly hasn't wrestled since about, I want to say, last October, I believe. So she is still signed with AEW, but is doing her own thing at the minute. She's recently had a book coming out and stuff, so it's hard to know really how affiliated she is with AEW on a day-to-day basis. In this interview, she was asked about her feelings towards WWE and said, "I love WWE and I don't have any negative feelings towards them. They raised me. I appreciate them so much. The idea of going somewhere else was only because the potential of my brother being there was a big thing. I just wanted him to be a success in wrestling, but I love WWE. I would absolutely, if there was something that they needed from me, which was exciting, I would definitely go there. It would be silly not to. I feel if it's an opportunity to do something fun, hell yeah, I'll jump on board." Not really mincing her words there.
No. AEW star Saraya very much making it clear that she'd like to do something fun with WWE once again.
I mean, that makes me... That has me fully suspecting that she's just seeing out the rest of her AEW contract. To feel comfortable enough to say something like that, you must not really be expected to be used again for the rest of your deal, surely.
And she kind of made it clear on other podcasts this week that there wasn't really a place for her in AEW right now, and she was okay with that. And she was just happy just to kind of step away if need be. Also, in the same sentence, she's on Twitter sharing the lyrics from her WWE theme.
Yeah.
So it does suggest that there's obviously, and that very much makes it clear she'd like to do something back in WWE. But the interesting bit in there kind of shed some light on what led her to join AEW in the first place. If you watched either the documentary version or the movie version of Fighting With My Family, you will know just how important family is to the Knights, in particular with Saraya and with her daughter. With her daughter? No way, her brother. That's a weird time. But with her brother Zach, who was recently part of AEW, came in to do stuff with Ring of Honor. And recently it was announced that he had been released from his deal. So I guess that Saraya, if there was an opportunity for her brother to come work with her in another promotion, she'd like to go to that other promotion. They did have a very brief bit on television. But I guess now that time has come and gone for Zach in AEW/Ring of Honor, maybe Saraya's time with AEW is up now as well.
Maybe. And I think that, you know, in those other interviews you mentioned where she was talking about, I don't really think AEW needs me at the moment. They've got a lot going on in the women's division. She didn't really say anything critical of AEW. She was complimentary of the other women in the locker room and everything. I think she was just quite honest and said, not really anything for me to do there, and that's fair enough. But this new context about her brother being released and everything does paint a bit of a fuller picture as well.
It certainly does. We're going to keep an eye on what Saraya gets up to next at cultaholic.com. Meanwhile, Fightful Select's sharing some details of a top name in AEW, one that has absolutely captured the imagination of AEW lately, whose contract is coming close to the edge.
Yeah, we're talking, of course, about Mariah May, who recently had that spellbinding and brutal Hollywood ending match with Toni Storm at the last pay-per-view. It was terrifying.
It was
so scary.
Wonderful.
Very, very good stuff indeed. Fightful Select report that a number of staff, wrestlers, and higher-ups in AEW believe that Mariah May is in a contract year, i.e. the year that her contract is set to expire. Specifically, those that we've spoken to in AEW believe that her deal is up in the summer. We've not yet learned, say Fightful Select, if there are any option years attached to it, but one source in the company said they would be shocked if there wasn't, as a deal that short is quite uncharacteristic for the push that Mariah got. We are told that AEW is looking to retain her regardless, and that's a no-brainer.
No-brainer,
Yeah.
But you'll know that other companies would be very much aware of Mariah May after the run that she has had as AEW Women's Champion, and the story that she told with Toni Storm. No doubt there would be offers coming her way should she want them, but AEW would be foolish to let her slip through, because I genuinely think she's one of these talents that has still so much to give. Just finished this incredible story arc with Toni Storm, which should have headlined Revolution. Should have totally gone on last.
100%. She's proven what she can do. She's got experience now, obviously, but she's still relatively new to wrestling compared to a lot of her peers, and is still young and still, the world's her oyster. She holds all the cards at the minute, I think. and it's richly deserved.
The women's division for AEW, the topic of conversation at the moment, because not only is Mariah May's contract potentially in its final year, but a new contract could be coming the way for Mina Shirakawa. It's been reported by Tokyo Sports and confirmed by Fightful Select that Mina has left Japan, wrapping up her time with Stardom, and is heading to the USA, with Fightful adding that an AEW deal is on the way.
Again, I think that's quite a good one, because Japan is full of amazing wrestlers, of course, and full of amazing women's wrestlers, but Mina Shirakawa has that crossover appeal because she's really funny. She's a really funny lady.
Great.
And as she proved in a couple of her matches, she has a higher ceiling than I think a lot of people anticipated. She's not just a comedy wrestler. She can go out there and put on a great match as well.
I'd be very intrigued to see what she would do under a full-time deal with AEW. We're sending our best to a part of the meat division of AEW, who, according to one report, is in the wars at the moment.
Yes, this is according to Dr. Chris Featherston from Sportskeeda Backstage Pass. AEW star Brian Cage missed the Chris Bay benefit show, which we talked about on the news recently. Chris Bay was able to walk into the ring and everything. It was a very, very nice moment indeed. Yeah. Brian Cage unfortunately couldn't make that show due to an injury and possibly needing surgery. It's currently uncertain how this will affect his immediate wrestling future. Hopefully it's not too bad and he can get back to action before too long at least.
He's been so stop-start in AEW. I've been really frustrated for him.
I honestly think you could make that argument for various places as well, in TNA, for example.
How healthy do we sound, by the way? Like you're coughing and I just go off the side here.
Yeah. I think that I think that you could make that argument for a lot of his career, but certainly I don't think Brian Cage has ever been given the sustained run that a wrestler of his look and his ability deserves, probably.
No, and I think all being well, that would come after he returns from whatever's currently going on.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Let's stay in the meat division of professional wrestling. WWE apparently putting out some feelers for a former TNA star.
Yes, WrestleVotes say that there is interest in Alex Hammerstone, who I know you're a big fan of.
I love Alex Hammerstone. He's very great.
WrestleVotes says, I don't know if he's looking for a WWE contract, if he's going to spend some time on the indies or whatnot, but I know there is interest from WWE in Alex Hammerstone.
I think he's a fit. He's such a good fit for WWE.
Yeah, I think so as well.
You know, the idea of having like someone like that under that system, I think he would benefit. Not everyone benefits from the WWE way of doing things. A lot of people get somewhat stifled by it, but some people really grow and benefit through it. And I think Alex Hammerstone is one of those guys who I think would truly benefit from that system and given that kind of room in somewhere like an NXT to build. You know, at some point, Obafemi is main roster bound to destroy the entire main event scene like he's Thanos in Infinity War. Yeah. It better happen. So that's going to leave a gap for like some powerhouse on the NXT roster. And I think Hammerstone could be the guy to fill it if Hammerstone is in a position in his life that he wants to sign up for such a thing.
Yes, absolutely. And I fully agree. I don't have anything clever to say. You've taken all the good points there, haven't you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. I'll let you lead this one because I think this last one is wonderful.
I was excited when I saw this on Twitter just before. I think we all were in the office upstairs. We're all quite buzzing about the potential of this. How realistic it actually is remains to be seen. Dustin Rhodes has very much built our hopes up for the return of a very bizarre WCW gimmick match from back in the day. Lots to pick from. Which one's he talking about? It's one that involved himself. Sharing photos of his infamous King of the Road match from Uncensored 95, Dustin Rhodes asked Twitter, should we bring this back AEW style? And the answer is yes. Yeah, you should do.
You 100% should.
Of course you should.
For those who aren't as long in the tooth as we are. All right, Sean the Star Stasiak from WCW 2001. Woo-hoo.
Sorry.
Hey. If your cut isn't that deep, right, and if you're maybe too young and not long enough in the tooth to remember it, so this is a match from 95. They saw Dustin Rhodes versus Blacktop Bully fighting on the back of a truck. The no blood rule in WCW was broken during this match, so it led to the footage of it being very heavily edited.
It's butchered. Yeah,
it's just butchered, isn't it? To the point where it's at some points intelligible as to what's actually happening. It also led to both guys being sacked the following day. And arguably, you could say, led to the genesis of Goldust.
Oh, yeah, you could actually argue that, indeed. I'm very surprised that we never saw an incarnation of this crop up again during lockdown when they were shooting cinematic matches and everything.
True. Roads were quiet enough for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, how are they going to do this now?
Do you know what? Not only could it be done in 2025, it could be done so well.
It could be done well.
Drone cameras.
Yes.
Multiple cameras in the actual truck itself. You know, shoot it several times in several angles. You could have so much fun with this.
I think a crucial detail as well is that it has to not take itself too seriously. It can't take itself too seriously, because then you get like the one final beat match, Gargano and Ciampa, which took itself too seriously. You want this to have a spirit of fun, even if the original maybe was an attempt to be serious. I think we have to have a laugh with this one if it comes back.
I think maybe we do it so if the time comes that Sammy Guevara turns on Dustin Rhodes and the Sons of Texas are cleft in twain, we settle it on the back of a bloody truck.
Sammy Guevara, when it comes to him and vehicles, go together really well. The bump he took off the golf cart, when I don't know how he did that. Yeah, that's a great shout, Tom. That's really good.
That's what we must do.
What we want.
Book it, Tony Khan. You coward. We know you watch. For the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe and love you. Bye.